They couldn't break you, so they called you broken. They couldn't control you, so they called you cold. But my dear chosen ones, silence is the sound of power. They said you were too quiet, too distant, too hard to read. But let's tell the truth. They don't hate your silence. They fear it. They don't hate your detachment. They envy it. Because you, dear chosen one, don't move like them. You don't beg, you don't explain, and you sure as hell don't fold under pressure. You walk into rooms and disturb energy without even trying. You shift atmospheres without a single word, and that terrifies them. They don't know what you are, and that's the problem. You see, when a lion roars, it's making noise, but when a wolf goes silent, the entire forest holds its breath. That's you, calm, controlled, calculated. You hunt in silence. You strike without warning. And when they tried to play games with your emotions, you walked away like you never even saw them. That shook them. That cracked their illusion of control. And now, they hate the fact that you can breathe without their chaos. Chosen ones, they thought you'd need closure. They thought you'd chase clarity. But you gave them nothing, and that was your revenge. Not because you're cruel, but because you finally realized who you are. You're not part of the show. They were never your audience. You don't explain peace to people who only understand war. So now they whisper, they label, they throw shade and hope it sticks. But your detachment? It's not weakness. It's a shield. It's a language only the powerful speak. And you, my dear chosen one, have become fluent. So keep walking, keep glowing. And remember, it's not your job to be understood. It's your destiny to be unforgettable. And before we go any deeper, let me say this loud and clear. If you've made it this far, it's because you're not ordinary. You're the type they whisper about, the one they can't figure out, the energy they can't copy. You're the chosen one. Whether you've just discovered this truth or you've known it all along, your presence here means something. So if you've ever been judged for your silence, misunderstood for your detachment, hated just for being hard to control, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop 77 in the comments to let the world know. Your power doesn't need permission to exist. And if you want to show even more love, hit that super thanks to support the message that's waking up the real ones. And now, let's get into it, step by step. Because if you truly are chosen, and you feel that deep in your gut, you're about to see that everything you've been feeling, everything they couldn't handle about you, was never a weakness. It was your evolution. Let's begin. Number 1. They tried to silence you, but your stillness shook the room, louder than any roar. You made the room too real, so they tried to dim the light. They couldn't handle. They called you dangerous when you got quiet, because your silence made their noise sound like lies. My dear chosen ones, you were never the problem, you were the mirror. And what do people do when a mirror starts showing them who they really are? They panic, they flinch, they try to shatter it. That's exactly why they came for you. Not because you're weak, but because your stillness was louder than their performance. You didn't need a crown to feel royal. You didn't need to raise your voice to shake the room. Your presence alone said more than their words ever could. You walked in with calm energy and a clean conscience. And that was the threat. Because people who manipulate others thrive in confusion. But when you showed up clear, direct, unbothered, you didn't just expose their game, you ended it. They called you cold because you stopped feeding the chaos. They called you arrogant when you finally chose peace over pleasing. They whispered behind your back, not because you were doing something wrong, but because your silence echoed through every corner of their lies. And here's the truth they'll never say out loud. You didn't play along, and that broke their script. You might wonder why it feels like you're always being pushed away. Why people you once stood by now act like you're hard to reach. But listen carefully. You're not being rejected. You're being repositioned. They didn't push you out. They simply couldn't pull you down. That's the part that burns them the most. See, they expected you to break. They thought the silence would crush you, but instead, you became even more focused, even more grounded. You stopped reacting. You stopped explaining yourself to people who never deserved your story in the first place. That's not coldness. That's clarity. And that's what scares them. They tried to isolate you because they couldn't influence you. They hoped you'd come crawling back, desperate for inclusion. But chosen ones don't beg for space. We create it. And when truth is in the room, it never needs to shout. It just is. And that's what you are. Undeniable. Let them call your calmness distance. Let them label your evolution as ego. That's their fear talking. That's the sound of losing control. Deep down, they don't miss your weakness. They miss the access. They miss the version of you that over-explained, over-apologized, and stayed too long in places that didn't honor your value. But that version of you is gone now. You didn't get quieter to hide. You got quieter to heal. You didn't pull back to disappear. You pulled back to level up. And now, you're not being ignored. You're just too rare to reach. You're not invisible. You're inaccessible. And there's a big difference. So don't shrink. Don't second-guess your silence. That detachment they hate so much? It's the final sign you've outgrown their games. You're not just walking away. You're walking ahead. You're not being cut off. You're being called forward. And they can't follow where you're going because it requires something they never built. Real self-awareness. Chosen ones, hold your ground. Let them gossip. Let them wonder. Let them wrestle with the quiet storm you left behind. Because nothing haunts a manipulator more than the one who got away without saying a word. Number 2, they set fires around you, but you refuse to burn for their attention. They keep throwing fire, but you're the one who doesn't burn. They can't stand that you're not flinching, so they throw fire, not to destroy you, but to prove you still feel the heat. But chosen ones, we don't jump into flames just to make others comfortable. My dear chosen ones, you've already seen the pattern. When they realize they can't get under your skin, they start lighting fires around you, hoping the smoke makes you panic, hoping the chaos makes you slip, hoping that just once you'll break that calm and let your emotions spill out into their arena. But you never do, and that's exactly why they hate you for it. See, it's not just silent shade anymore. Now it's public, messy, loud, manufactured drama that has your name attached to it without your permission. These aren't accidents. This is warfare dressed up as confusion. Every lie, every twisted word, every false emergency is a calculated trap. It's a test. One goal, to drag you back into the performance. But you didn't train for this long just to play their games. Your detachment, your peace, your stillness, it's not for show. It's your armor. They want to see if it's real or just a mask. They want to know if your calm can be cracked when they hit the right buttons. They'll fake a crisis, push your limits, bait you with twisted truths, all just to see if you'll lose control. But you don't. Because you're not here to fight battles that don't belong to you. You weren't chosen to wrestle with people who feed off emotional chaos. You weren't given this clarity just to waste it on fools trying to feel powerful by dragging others down. Your refusal to react doesn't make you weak. It makes you dangerous. It means you've stepped out of the circus and stopped performing for people who never deserved your energy. They scream louder now, not because they're strong, but because they're desperate. Your silence is judgment to them. Your composure is a reminder of the control they never had. And it kills them that you can walk away without turning back. So when they rage, you stay still. When they throw storms, you stay grounded, because stillness, chosen one isn't just silence, it's power. And only the real ones know how to hold it when everything around them is shaking. Number 3. They scream louder now because your calm stripped away their power. The louder they get, the more your silence cuts like a blade. They tried to shake you by raising their voice, but all they did was expose how little power they had, because silence, chosen one, is the sharpest weapon in the room. My dear chosen one, let's make this clear. Your stillness is not weakness. It's power that doesn't need applause. It's strength that doesn't need to be loud. And the louder they scream, the more that power shows. Because nothing drives manipulators and energy leeches crazier than a calm they can't crack. They poke, they produced, they send subtle jabs masked as jokes. But when you don't flinch, when you just blink and keep it moving, that's when their panic sets in. Why? Because people who feed off chaos need one thing to stay alive: your reaction. And when you don't give it to them, they suffocate in their own noise. So they escalate, they twist stories, they make it personal, they raise the stakes and lower their character, all hoping for one thing, just one explosion from you. One crack in that calm exterior so they can say, "See, you're no better than us." But you don't give them that satisfaction, because you've built your stillness like armor, not a mask, but protection earned through fire. You've survived too much to be moved by amateurs with loud voices and weak intentions. They think they're exposing you, but every failed attempt reflects who they really are. That's the part that burns them the most. They never had real power over you. They just had your kindness, your patience, your energy. And now that you've pulled it back, now that you're detached, clear and unbothered, they see it for what it was: an illusion, a performance, smoke. And the worst part for them? You're not angry, you're not bitter, you're not hurt, you're indifferent. And that kind of peace, that kind of clean, surgical detachment, it haunts them. Because it can't be faked, it can't be mimicked, it has to be earned. And most of them have never done the inner work to even get close. So let them scream, let them spiral. You get quieter, get stiller. Because stillness isn't passive, it's defiant. It's standing in the eye of the storm and refusing to move. It's the highest level of control, and they can't handle that you've mastered it. You're not rejecting chaos because you fear it. You're rejecting it because you've outgrown it. And nothing makes the insecure more furious than realizing you've mastered the one thing they never could: yourself. Number 4, they couldn't control you, so they rewrote your character like a bad story. They couldn't handle the real you, so they tried to rename you. When they couldn't break your silence, they broke out the labels, because if they can't control your truth, they'll try to control your image. Chosen ones, listen closely. When you refused to dance to their tune, when you stopped reacting, explaining, apologizing, they panicked. Your detachment was a shock to their system, not because it was cruel, but because it was clear. And clarity, in a world built on manipulation and ego, feels like violence to those who live in emotional confusion. They couldn't move you, they couldn't bend you. So they did what cowards do. They started naming you things that sound like insults, but are really just confessions in disguise. Cold, aloof, arrogant, too quiet, too distant, too much, not enough. Those aren't character traits, they're reactions. That's what happens when your peace exposes their chaos, when your boundaries threaten their grip. What they don't understand is that you've already outgrown the version of you that made them feel safe in dysfunction. The one who over-explained, the one who kept shrinking just to fit in. That version of you is gone. You reclaimed your time, your energy, and your identity. And instead of celebrating your evolution, They launched a smear campaign to cover up their own discomfort. But here's the truth they choke on. Every word they throw at you, every accusation, every twisted narrative, they're not describing you. They're describing what they lost access to. And that's what really hurts them. You didn't become distant. You became untouchable. You didn't become arrogant. You became unavailable to manipulation. And no matter how many names they try to slap on your growth, chosen one, it changes nothing. You are not who they say you are. You are what you've survived without breaking. You are what you stood through without bending. Let them talk. Let them label. Let them twist the truth into something unrecognizable, because the real ones will feel your energy and know who you are without explanation. Stop watering yourself down just to be digestible. You weren't built to make them comfortable. You were built to wake them up. If your detachment sets their insecurities on fire, that's not your burden. That's their invitation to heal. So keep standing, keep rising. And next time they say you're different, smile. Because you are. And that difference, it's called growth. Number 5. They project their chaos onto you because they can't process their own reflection. They throw their shadows and hope you'll wear them. They couldn't handle their own chaos, so they handed it to you, wrapped in lies and labeled as truth. But chosen one, you're not their mirror for blame. You're their reflection of what they never became. Chosen one, let's break this wide open. They don't hate you. They hate what they feel around you. The calm you walk in with, it makes them nervous. The way you enter a room without needing approval, that's what gets under their skin. Because deep down, they know they've built their entire identity around being needed, liked, praised. And here you come, detached and untouchable, not even looking their way. You stopped explaining yourself. You stopped justifying your silence. And the moment you did, they panicked. Why? Because they don't want truth. They want control. And if they can't have it, they'll throw dirt and call it honesty. They project what they can't process. That's not arrogance they're calling out. It's intimidation. You make them feel small, not by doing anything, but simply by existing in your truth. So what do? They reach for the same tired tricks. You've changed. You're cold. You're distant. But it's never really about you. It's their internal storm, screaming for someone else to carry the thunder. You are not cold, chosen one. You're clear. You are not fake. You're finally real, without apology. You are not arrogant. You're just done shrinking for people who never made space for your growth. They want your peace to feel like guilt. They want your silence to feel like abandonment. They want your boundaries to feel like betrayal. But don't fall into the trap. Every insult they throw is a confession. Every accusation is them screaming, "I no longer have access to your energy, and I hate that." Let them sit in the discomfort they created. Let them spin stories. Let them twist truth. You don't owe anyone emotional CPR just because they can't breathe without chaos. You've done the work. You've walked through fire. You've grown too much to carry insecurities that don't belong to you. And when they throw dirt on your name, remember this: dirt doesn't bury chosen ones. It proves we're planted. And what's planted grows in a direction they can't follow. Stay sharp. Stay still. Stay sacred. Number 6. Your silence didn't hurt them. It revealed who they always were. Your detachment didn't wound them. It unmasked them. They weren't hurt by your silence. They were exposed by it, because when you stopped dancing to their dysfunction, the spotlight shifted, and they couldn't handle what it revealed. Chosen ones, listen closely. Your detachment was never about distance. It was a declaration, a clean break from the circus, the manipulation, the endless cycle of emotional blackmail. And that That's what ripped the curtain down on the whole show. You didn't destroy them. You just stopped performing, and the silence you left behind did the rest. They don't hate you because you're cold. They hate you because your silence is sharp, controlled, unapologetic. You don't chase, you don't explain, you don't beg to be understood. And in a world full of noise, that kind of quiet cuts deeper than any scream. Your energy doesn't spill for just anyone anymore, and that drives them mad. Why? Because your detachment didn't just say, "I'm done." It screamed, "I see you." You've heard it. You've changed. But what they really mean is, "I can't control you anymore." You no longer flinch when they press the old buttons. You don't get pulled into their drama, their bait, their traps. Every time you withhold your reaction, you rip the illusion of power right out of their hands. And that's what makes you dangerous. They once fed on your kindness, your need to explain, your need to fix, but now you're unreachable, not bitter, not broken, just unavailable, emotionally sovereign, spiritually focused, mentally clear. You've become the thing they can't fake, unbothered. And instead of admitting they miss the version of you that overgave, they attack the version that evolved. Let them. Let them throw their shade, because your light's the only reason it exists. Let them mock your stillness, because it reflects everything they're running from. Let them label you distant, arrogant, difficult, because those labels are confessions, not of your flaws, but of their discomfort. You didn't become the enemy, you became the mirror. And that's what they can't stand. So don't you dare explain your peace. Don't soften your silence. You're not detached because you don't care. You're detached because you finally do, about you. And that self-protection, that self-awareness, that's your weapon. They don't know what you are. But trust me, chosen one, they're starting to find out. Number 7. You broke their whole strategy just by refusing to react. You didn't just leave the game, you burned the entire rule book. The moment you stopped reacting, their strategy turned to dust, because chosen ones don't play games, they end them. Dear chosen ones, let this sink in. The moment you stopped giving them what they fed on, your reactions, your energy, your explanations, you shattered their illusion of control. You didn't just escape the trap, you made the trap irrelevant. See, manipulation only works when it gets a rise out of you. That's why they poked your insecurities. That's why they used guilt like a leash and shame like a collar. That's why every silent treatment, every twisted half-truth, every backhanded compliment was designed to pull a string inside you. And for a while, it worked. But then you stopped flinching. You stopped explaining yourself to people who were never listening anyway. You stopped defending your truth to those who only twisted it. You stopped needing closure from the very ones who built their power on your confusion. And in doing so, you broke the game. Because chosen ones, here's what they don't want you to know. They were never powerful. You were just generous with your energy. You were the fuel. You were the emotional anchor. You were the light they tried to stand in while casting a shadow on your name. But once you pulled the plug, they were just noise. Loud, desperate, powerless noise. Now they escalate. They throw stunts instead of punches. They rotate between guilt, rage, and pity, hoping something, anything, sticks. But nothing does. Because you're not in the ring anymore. You're not even in the arena. You've outgrown the game they built. And that terrifies them. Your detachment didn't just create space. It exposed weakness. It stripped away the illusions. It brought their empty performance into full light. And now, without your emotional labor, they have to face the one thing they've been running from, themselves. They'll say you've changed, that you're cold now, unreachable, different. Let them. That change they hate, that silence they mock, it's called power. It's called sovereignty. And you earned it. You didn't walk away quietly. You burned the stage and took your spotlight with you. And now they're stuck performing for a crowd that no longer exists. That's the cost of playing games with a chosen one. You don't just lose access, you lose relevance. Number 8. They call you cold because your calm is a language they can't speak. Your calm cuts deeper than chaos because it's a language they never learned. They think silence means emptiness, but real calm is a sharpened blade. They only notice it when it slices straight through their noise. My dear chosen ones, you've probably heard it all before. You're too quiet, too distant, hard to read. But let me tell you what they won't say out loud. Your calm terrifies them. Because it's not weakness, it's precision, it's presence, it's control in a world full of people who live on autopilot, fueled by panic, ego, and noise. They mistake your silence for indifference. They see your steady eyes and think you're numb. But here's the truth. They can't even recognize what emotional self-mastery looks like. To them, loud means alive. But you, chosen one, you don't need to shout to make an impact. You don't flail. You don't chase. You move with purpose. And that's dangerous. Your calm is not absence. It's the presence of discipline. It's the sound of someone who refuses to be pulled into every storm just to prove they can swim. It's the power of someone who observes, thinks, calculates, and then decides whether the battle is even worth stepping onto the field. While they spiral for attention, you sit in silence and study. While they reach for reaction, you sharpen your focus. While they act out to feel real, you stay grounded in who you are. You're not avoiding the chaos. You've just outgrown it. You've become a mirror, and your peace reflects back the inner turbulence they pretend doesn't exist. That's why your calm feels like confrontation to them. That's why they call you cold. But what they're really saying is, I don't know how to exist without drama. And your silence reminds me of that. They'll never say they admire it, but trust me, they do. Because deep down, they wish they had the discipline you built, the focus you command, the inner authority you carry like armor into every room. You've stopped reacting for validation. You've stopped translating your peace for people addicted to conflict. You've mastered the quiet, and that quiet. It's louder than any scream they've ever thrown your way. So keep your eyes steady. Keep your energy clean. Your calm doesn't make you less. It makes you untouchable. And chosen one, that's exactly why they fear you. Number 9. You didn't expose them. Your detachment made the mask fall off. Your detachment became the mirror, and they couldn't handle the reflection. You didn't say a word, but they heard everything. Because your silence exposed the truth they spent years trying to hide. My dear chosen ones, you didn't have to raise your voice to shake them. You didn't have to call them out to uncover who they were. All you did was detach, and that was enough. You became a mirror they never asked for, but couldn't look away from. And what they saw, it wasn't you that disturbed them, it was themselves. They thought you were running, thought you were hiding, but they missed the truth completely. You weren't retreating, you were rising. You evolved past the noise. You stopped giving oxygen to their chaos, and suddenly, everything they built on your reactions started crumbling. Because chosen ones, the moment you stop dancing in dysfunction, the whole circus falls apart. You didn't expose them. You didn't need to. Your distance revealed everything. Your silence peeled the mask off every manipulative tactic, every fake apology, every guilt trip dressed as love. You didn't shine a light on them. They cracked under your shade. Your stillness screamed louder than their loudest accusations ever could. And it's not because you don't care. It's because you finally care enough about yourself to not play the game anymore. You care enough to protect your peace, to guard your mind, to build a life that doesn't bend for people who only show up to drain you. And now, they can't stop watching, obsessed with how you stay calm under pressure, how you move without seeking permission, how you carry power without needing an audience. They envy it, even while they pretend to hate it. Because you did what they won't, you disconnected from chaos and found strength in silence. You didn't just walk away from people, you walked away from patterns, from cycles, from systems that demanded your silence just so you could belong. But now, you belong to yourself. That's why you're untouchable. That's why you're rare. So no, you're not disappearing, you're reflecting. You're showing them what accountability looks like, and it burns, not because you started the fire, but because you stopped putting it out. And now they're left standing in the smoke, forced to choose, grow or burn. Chosen ones, your detachment wasn't the problem. It was the revelation. It was the moment they realized they couldn't mold you, mute you, or manipulate you anymore. That silence, it was your revolution, and it changed everything. Number 10. You didn't disappear. You leveled up in a way they never expected. You didn't disappear. You just became too elevated to be seen from where they're standing. They didn't lose you. You outgrew the version of you they could control. My dear chosen ones, they keep saying you vanished, that you changed, that you went cold. But let's make something clear. You didn't disappear. You evolved. You elevated. You got so clear, so focused, so grounded in your own power. They simply can't reach you anymore. They're not watching you fade. They're watching you rise. And it's killing them. They were never prepared for the version of you that no longer needs their validation. They thought you'd always orbit around their chaos, always explaining, always defending, always staying soft, just enough to be manipulated. But then you pulled back, not out of weakness, but wisdom. You saw the games, you saw the pattern, and you chose silence over noise, peace over drama, and self-respect over approval. And suddenly, they couldn't find you in the same places they used to control you. They wanted to keep you small because your power made their insecurities scream. The old you? That one kept peace by sacrificing self. That version overgave, over-explained, overstayed. But now they're facing a version that doesn't flinch when the room gets quiet. A version that doesn't shrink just to be seen. Now you glow in places they can't follow. Let them say you disappeared. Because the truth is, they stopped being able to see you the moment you stopped needing to be seen. You're not cold. You're focused. You're not distant. You're detached from the dysfunction. You didn't vanish. You ascended. And here's the part they'll never admit. They miss your energy. Even while they drag your name, they crave your presence. Because your light used to give them cover, and now it exposes everything they didn't want to face. You were never one of them. You were just nearby. And now, you're out of reach. So don't look back. Don't explain your silence. Don't apologize for becoming what they never saw coming. You didn't leave to run. You left to rise. And the higher you go, the quieter it gets, for a reason. Keep climbing. They can hate from below. Number 11. They thought you were being punished, but you were just being moved ahead. They thought you were being cut off, but you were quietly moved to the front. They laughed when you disappeared, but they didn't realize the silence was your promotion. My dear chosen ones, let's be honest. They thought you lost. They saw your isolation and called it punishment. They mistook your solitude for shame, your detachment for defeat, but they couldn't have been more wrong. You weren't being rejected, you were being repositioned. Quietly, strategically, powerfully. They were so focused on who walked away from you, they didn't realize what you were walking into. The shift didn't come with a warning, no loud exits, no explanations, just space. Space that felt confusing at first. Friends went silent. Invites stopped coming. Conversations dried up. But that wasn't failure. It was filtration. You weren't being erased. You were being elevated. Because not everyone can come with you to the next level. They thought they pushed you out, but really, they couldn't handle your presence. They couldn't match your energy, and they didn't want to face what your growth reflected back to them. So they told themselves a story, that you were losing, that you were breaking, that you'd be back. But you didn't come back. You leveled up in silence. See, chosen ones don't move loud. We move aligned, and alignment sometimes requires distance. Space from the noise, distance from the drama, separation from the superficial. Not to punish, but to prepare. Because what's ahead of you? It's too real for the fake, too deep for the shallow, too honest for the masked. That's why the doors shut. That's why the circle shrunk. It wasn't rejection. It was redirection. It wasn't punishment. It was positioning. You were never behind. You were being refined. You were never being punished. You were being protected from the noise, from the chaos, from everything that couldn't come with the version of you that's rising. So don't question the silence. Don't grieve the distance. That quiet path you're walking, it's the front row seat to your own evolution. They don't know what you are yet, chosen one. But soon, they'll see what happens when someone outgrows the noise and walks in quiet, unshakable power. Number 12. They tried to break your focus, but you mastered the art of moving in silence. They tried to break your focus, but you mastered the art of moving in silence. They made noise to distract you. They created chaos to derail you. But you didn't flinch. You just moved in silence, and that's what's driving them insane. Chosen ones, you have to understand. When your focus became unshakable, it became a threat. They couldn't control your emotions, so they targeted your mind. They tried to scatter your thoughts, blur your vision, and flood your path with distractions. And not by accident. Every interruption, every drama, every sideways comment, it was all a setup to make you lose your rhythm. But instead of reacting, you disappeared into discipline. You moved like a shadow, silent, steady, locked in, while they were busy talking about you, trying to bait you, waiting for a response. You were building, growing, leveling up. And because they couldn't see the moves you were making, they assumed you weren't making any. But chosen ones don't announce progress. We become it. They hate that you don't explain anymore, that you don't post your every win, that you don't invite them into your energy like you used to. Why? Because their control relied on access. And when you took that access away, when you made peace your new language and privacy your new power, they started spiraling. They couldn't shake your emotions, so they tried to break your momentum. But here's what they didn't expect. Silence is your weapon. Detachment is your strategy. Focus is your rebellion. And the fact that you keep showing up, locked in, undisturbed, that's what's tearing them apart inside. Because while they're wasting energy plotting distractions, you're creating something they'll never see coming. You're not missing. You're not lost. You're just unreachable. And that difference? That's what separates the chosen from the chaotic. So don't get loud. Get even more silent. Don't defend your focus. Deepen it. Because every time they try to pull you off track and you don't move, that's the moment they realize. You weren't just built different. You were built for this. Number 13. They mistook growth for arrogance because you finally chose yourself. They called it arrogance, but all you did was choose yourself for once. They didn't mind when you were breaking for them, only when you started building for yourself. My dear chosen ones, let's be clear. They never had a problem with your humility. Not when you were shrinking to keep the peace. Not when you were over-explaining, over-giving and overextending just to keep everyone else comfortable. They loved that version of you. The one who said yes when you wanted to say no. The one who made room for everyone, even when there was none left for yourself. But the moment you chose you, the moment you stopped apologizing for your boundaries, stopped entertaining chaos, and finally looked in the mirror and said, "I deserve better," that's when everything changed. They called it ego. They called it selfish. They said you switched up. But what really happened is this. You woke up. You realized you were pouring into people who were draining you on purpose. You realized your silence was being mistaken for access and your kindness for permission. And so you pulled back, not out of anger, but out of wisdom, out of growth, out of self-respect. And that, chosen one, made them furious. Because now they can't guilt you, they can't bait you, they can't play the same tired games with someone who finally knows their worth. They label you arrogant because that word stings. They think if they say it enough, you'll doubt yourself again, shrink again, come back again. But you won't. Because this version of you, the one they can't reach, the one who says less but moves sharper, the one who puts peace before performance, that version is real. That version is earned. And they don't know how to handle someone who no longer needs their approval to exist. So let them talk, let them misunderstand, let them twist your growth into something it's not. Because the truth is, they never expected you to stand up for yourself. And now that you are, they don't hate your confidence. They hate that it no longer includes them. Number 14. You didn't walk away. Empty, you took back every piece they tried to steal. You didn't just walk away, you walked off with everything they tried to keep from you. They thought you left broken, but what you really did was pack up every piece of your power they couldn't kill and took it with you. My dear chosen ones, they watched you walk away and convinced themselves they won. They told everyone you were the one who lost, that you were bitter, that you were weak. But let's set the record straight. You didn't walk away empty-handed. You walked away with everything they tried to bury, break, and silence inside you. You walked away with your time, your peace, your clarity, your boundaries, your energy, the very things they used to drain, mock, and manipulate. You took it all back. And that's why they're mad. They don't miss you. They miss access. They miss the version of you who would overgive, over-explain, overstay. They miss the old you who kept showing up even after they threw you under the bus. They miss the emotional supply you used to give so freely just to be understood. But the moment you realized your worth didn't need their approval, game over. They tried to make you believe that you were too much, too intense, too different. But all that was just code for too hard to control. And when they saw that you weren't begging for closure, when they saw that your silence spoke louder than their gossip, they panicked. Because the truth is, you were never broken. You were just bleeding in places they kept cutting. And now that you've healed, now that you've reclaimed every last piece they tried to fracture, they're the ones left empty. So no, you didn't leave defeated. You escaped fully loaded, with self-respect, with vision, with fire, and with a version of yourself they never thought would survive them. Let them talk. Let them spin the story. You know what you walked away with, and soon they'll realize. You didn't just leave. You leveled up. And now, chosen ones, let this truth settle deep. You were never the one who lost. They just never thought you'd find the strength to walk away with everything they tried to steal. Your detachment didn't make you cold. It made you whole. They still don't know what you are, and that mystery, it haunts them. If this message hit you right where you needed it, Like the video, subscribe and drop 77 in the comments if you've taken your power back in silence. And share this with another chosen one who needs to remember what they're made of.